Daf Ayin Amud Beis, 5 lines from the top at the 2 dots. Boy, Minei Rav Rav Nachman, he had the following shaila. Helem ze v'ze b'yadoi mao. If a person did not know about Shabbos, he forgot about Shabbos, that today is Shabbos, and he forgot, he's a shegeg about the malachas, he forgot that these particular malachas are asuras. The Brisa we learned earlier said that if he is shogeg on the Shabbos and malachas, zehu shogeg on b'tar. This is a shogeg on b'tar. This is a complete shogeg. So, however, we know that from the Mishnah says that if he's a zodan on Shabbos, he's shogeg on malachas, he's chayav for each and every malach. If he is a shogeg on Shabbos, he forgot today's Shabbos, he knows that the particular malachas are asuras, but he forgot today's Shabbos, he's only chayav one chatas. What is the din if he forgets that both the today is Shabbos, and he forgot that these particular malachas are asuras? And as Rashi explains, this is not like the first case in the Mishnah, the Reisha, which says Hashechech Ikar Shabbos, because over there he does not know of the existence of the day of Shabbos. He forgot that there's such a day as Shabbos. There's the concept of Shabbos. We're not talking about over here. We know, the person knows that there is Shabbos. He forgot that today is Shabbos. And he forgot these malachas are asuras, but he knows of the existence of Shabbos. So what's the din? Is he chayev one chatas, or is he chayev a chatas for each and every malacha? Amr lei harei helam Shabbos b'yadav ve'ena chayev el achas. Well, he forgot that today is Shabbos. Forgetting that the day is Shabbos, you only chayev one chatas. No, the Gemara says other rabba harei helam malachas b'yadav chayev al kol achas ve'achas. But he forgot that the malachas are asuras, and for shigyos malachas you're chayev for each and every malacha. Elam Ravashi Chazin. Let's examine. Mishum Shabbos Kaporish. If you tell this person that it's Shabbos, and he'll chap, and he'll realize, he did something terrible, and he stops doing it. He realizes Shabbos, and he can't do these actions. Then it's considered a forgetting of Shabbos. And he's only chayav one chatas. But if you tell him that this action that you're doing is a malacha, and that causes him to stop what he's doing, then it's considered a forgetting of the malachas. It's considered a shgog of the malachas, and he's chayav for each and every malacha. Amarli Ravina L'Ravashi says, how can that be? Klum parish mishabbos, el mishum malachas. If he's parish from Shabbos, when you tell him that it's Shabbos and he stops doing this action, why is that? Because he realizes that what he's doing is a malacha. So the two are intertwined. You can't separate one from the other. Yes, it's true if you tell him Shabbos, he'll stop doing, but why is that? Because he realizes what he's doing is a malacha. And kulum parish min malacha is al mishum Shabbos. And if you tell him this is a malacha and he stops doing what he's doing, why is he stopping to it? Yes, now he understood this is a malach, but he understands that it's Shabbos, so the two are intertwined. You can't separate them. He'll only stop what he's doing because he realizes that today is Shabbos and this is a malach and this cannot be done today. Ella loishna. He says it doesn't make a difference. It makes no difference. It's loishna. There's no difference between if he forgets both or if he forgets one. Just like we say that if he's a shogeg on Shabbos zon malachas, he's only chayav one chatas. Here also, it's the same thing. It's a shogeg for Shabbos. He's only chayav one chatas. He's only chayav one chatas. Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah. That avos malachas arbaim chasar achas. The Tana says there are 39 avos malachos, so he tells us the number of avinam b'minyan alamali. So we ask, why does the Tana have to tell us the number we can count? Why does he have to bother to tell us that there are 39 avos malachos? Valmar Rav Yochanan, Rav Yochanan says, Shimasa kulam be'elam echad chayv v'kol achas v'achas. It's to teach you that if he does all of this in one helam, he does all 39 avos malachos, and not realizing between each one that he did an aver and that he's chayav v'chatas, if he does it all in one helam, in one act of forgetting, he does from morning to night, does all the malachos, but not realizing between each one that he was over and is chayav v'chatas, then he is chayav 39 malachas, 39 chatos rather. That he does it kulam behel mecher chayav kolachas v'achas. Now, normally we say, certainly if he realized between each malacha that he's chayav separate chatos, but normally we say legabe other chatos. If a person ate chalev 39 times during a day without realizing between each act of eating that he's chayav chatos, it's one helam, he's only chayav one chatos. By Melechas Shabbos, it's different. Even though he's mechal Shabbos 39 times with one helam, without realizing between each act that he's chayav chatos, nevertheless, if they are different of his malachas, and even though he did not realize between each act that he was mechal Shabbos and he's chayav chatos, he's chayav 39 chatos. That's why the Tana tells us the number, to show us the number, the maximum number of chatos he can be chayav. Now, if you tell me that if he forgets both of them, then he's chayav 39, he's chayav for each and every one, we understand. But if you tell me that if he forgot at Shabbos, even if he also forgot that the malachas, but so long as he forgot that today is Shabbos, that you only chayav one chatas, so what is the case of the Mishnah? The case of the Mishnah can't be that he's a shogeg on Shabbos if you say that so long as there's shogeg on Shabbos he's only chayav one. So what is the case of the Mishnah where it says that you're chayav for 39 malachas, 39 chatos? So hechem mishkachas the zodin Shabbos shogeg malachas. So it must be that he knew it was Shabbos, but he forgot that these malachas, these particular malachas, are asuras. So now, what is a case where he knows it's Shabbos, but he doesn't realize malachas are asuras? If he doesn't realize the malachas are asuras, in what way does he know that today is Shabbos? So hanichi savala kirbe yaichanan damer kevin sheshaga bekares avopi shehezid belav mishkachos lo. So it's good, according to Rav Yochanan, who says that even if he was amazed with the lav, but so long as he didn't know that it comes with it, this chiyuv of Shabbos comes with the chiyuv of Koris, then mishkach sol diyarulo mishabbos b'lav. Then we understand the case. The case could be he's on Shabbos. He knows you're not allowed to do malachas on Shabbos, but he's not aware that there carries with it a chiyuv Koris for being mechal Shabbos. So then you can say that he's a shogeg b'karas, and that's considered to be a shkoga, and therefore, even though he realizes that you're not allowed to do these actions, but so long as he doesn't realize that the punishment carries a kares, you would still be considered a shogeg. So you can say that he's chayav for each and every one of the malachas, that he actually knows that it's Shabbos, he's on Shabbos, he's shogeg b'malachas. What is considered shogeg malachas? That he doesn't realize that there is a chiyuv kares. So he knows fully well about Shabbos, and he knows that you're not allowed to do these things, these actions. He knows you're not allowed to do, but he doesn't know there's a punishment of kares. So I understand. He knows what Shabbos is. He knows you're not allowed to do these things. He didn't know that there is kares, so he considered a shogeg. He's high for each and every one. But according to Reish Lakish, he's told that's not called a shogeg. In order to be called a shogeg, he has to be not only unaware that there's a punishment of kares, he also has to be unaware that there's even a lav. So if you're telling me that the case in the Mishnah is that he is Zon Shabbos, Shigigots Malachas, but he does not know that these Malachas are Asuras. He does not know that it's also that you're not allowed to do this action. Not only does he not know that there's a punishment of Karas if you do, but he doesn't even know that it's also to do it. So, the Yadol Shabbos B'mai, what does he know about Shabbos? You're telling me that he's Zon Shabbos and he's Shigigots Malachas, which means he knows nothing about the malacha. He doesn't even know that it's also. So in what way is he Zod and Shabbos? What does he know about Shabbos? Our answer is he knows something about Shabbos. He doesn't know that these malachas are asuras, that you're not allowed to do these actions, but he knows there's such a thing as Shabbos. He knows you can't walk beyond the tchum, according to Rabbi Kiva that says tchum deraisa. So he's aware in general terms of Shabbos. He knows you can't walk beyond the tchum. but he does not know that these actions are asuras, and therefore he's chayav for each and every malacha. Amar Rava, Katzer v'tachan kigreigeris. If a person, he cut down, he picked down from the fig tree, he picked a fig. So it says kigreigeris. Rashi says that, and those are explained. So that is the shiur for oichlim by malachas that involve food. The shiur, the size, the minimum size to be chayiv midaraisa is to be chayiv a korban is a greigeris, is a dried fig. So if a person picked the dried fig v'tochen and then he ground it up, so he did two malachas. He did ksira and he did tchina. He picked it and he ground it. Now, if he did that with Shigiyas Shabbos v'zon malachas, if he did it with Shigiyas Shabbos, he was a shaygig on the Shabbos, but he was zon on malachas. He knew you're not allowed to do these malachas, but he forgot that today's Shabbos. So what's the halach in such a case? He brings one korban. For both of them, he only brings one korban. The shkaga is Shabbos. It involves, therefore, it's mechayiv only one korban. Then v'chazer v'katzer v'tachan. Then afterwards he was chazer v'katzer v'tachan, and he did it with a different forget. I mean, he forgot before he knew before, and he did this kigreigeris b'zalin Shabbos v'shigos malachas. And then later on, he now realized that today's Shabbos. He reminded himself, but he forgot that you're not allowed to be kaitzer v'teichen. So first he was kaitzer v'teichen, and that was Shigiyas Shabbos and Zon Malachos, where the chiyuv is only for one chatas. Now, he didn't yet realize that he did an avera. Later on in the day, when time passed on, then he realized today's Shabbos. But he forgot that you're not allowed to pick or grind things on Shabbos. So then he picked the fig and he ground it out of his teichen, but this time it was with Shigiyas Shabbos and with Zon Shabbos rather, and Shigiyas Malachos. With Zon Shabbos and Shigiyas Malachos, where he's chayev achatas for each and every one. So initially he did the ksira and tchina, and for the both of them he's only chayev one chatas. And then in the same helem, without realizing that he did avera, he did ksira and tchina again, but in this time he did it in a manner where it was on Shabbos and Shigiyas Malachos, where he's chayev for each one. A separate chatas for the ksira, a separate chatas for the tchina. Then after all of that, v'noidaloi al ksira utchina. Then after that, he was informed, he discovered about the ksira or the tchina, and Rashi says certainly on both, if he discovered both. He discovered that he did an avera, but what did he discover first? Shel Shigiyas Shabbos v'zod malachos. He discovered the first one first, where he did it with Shigiyas Shabbos on malachos. So he set aside a korban. He set aside an animal for a korban, and as Taisa Rosh explains, if upon prior to being makriv of this korban, he discovered that he did also the tchina, meaning before being makriv of the korban, he now was aware that he did both kaitzer and teichen, this one korban would be mechaper for both the ksira and the tchina. So he set aside the animal, and that was for the averas that he did initially in the first part of the day, which was with Shigiyas Shabbos and Zon Malachos. So therefore, and that is only mechayiv one korban. He set aside the animal, and that was to be mechaper for that. V'chaz are v'noidelo al ksira v'al tchina shel Zon Shabbos v'Shigiyas Malachos, and then he became aware of the ksira and the tchina for Zod Shabbos and Shigiyas Malachos, and that ksira and tchina would involve a separate chatas for each one, a separate chatas for the ksira and a separate chatas for the tchina. So we say the ksira gereres ksira o tchina gereres tchina. So we say is that the korban that he set aside, that he was mafish for the first ksira, that korban that he set aside, that animal he set aside for the korban for this ksira, that is connected to the tchina which is with it, because the first avera that he did was with Shigigos Shabbos with Zod Malachos. So that's one korban to be mechaper for both the ksira and the tchina, because it's Shigigos Shabbos is one shkaga, so it's to be mechaper. One korban is mechaper for both the ksira and the tchina. So that korban incorporates both ksira and tchina. Then the second ksira and tchina that he did, since he didn't discover that he did an avera in the interim, it's considered like one hela. So therefore, the korban that he sets aside for the first ksira and tchina, it's one korban that incorporates ksira and tchina. And since the second ksira and tchina is considered to be within the same helam as the first ksira and tchina, because he didn't discover in the interim between the two that he did the avera, so it's considered like one helam, even though they're somewhat different. They have different circumstances. The first one is with Shigos Shabbos and Zod Malachos, and the second one is with the Zod Shabbos and Shigos Malachos, but it's considered one helam, and this one korban is mechaper for everything. The ksira connects, it draws with it the second ksira, and the tchina draws with it the second tchina. Aval, however, however, if he discovered first that the second one first, if he discovered first the ksira of the Zod Shabbos and Shigos Malachos, now that korban is only mechaper for ksira, because the second set, when he did ksira and tchina, which was Zod Shabbos and Shigos Malachos, the korban is only, you need a separate korban for the ksira and separately for the tchina. So the korban that he set aside, the animal he set aside for the korban, is only for ksira. So there we say ksira gerei ksira. Enachanami, the ksira, this korban draws with it the ksira for the first avera, because it's both. There's a korban for ksira, so it's gar ksira geretz chen utchina shima, and also for the grinding for that he did earlier, because there's only one korban for the two of them. So the korban that he sets aside for the second ksira, that's for ksira. The second tchina that he did is not part of that. It's for ksira. However, it's in the same helam as what he did earlier in the day, so it draws the ksira. And the ksira and the tchina that's in the morning are connected. It's one korban for both ksira and tchina. So the one korban that he sets aside for the afternoon ksira draws the morning ksira and its tchina. However, the second tchina that he did, Bezon Shabbos and Shigos Malachos, since it requires an independent korban, it's not part and parcel of it, so he has to bring a separate korban for this tchina. Abaya says, however, tchina nami goyreres tchina. Abaya says the tchina can also draw the tchina. The ksira, he was mafresh the korban for the second ksira. That ksira is goyreres, it can be goyrer, the ksira of the first avera, the first ksira. Now, once it's goyrer that ksira, the first ksira, that ksira, the ksira and tchina are one. There's only one korban for both the ksira and tchina. So Rava says the ksira is goyreres the ksira and the corresponding tchina. That's where it stops. But Abaya says no. Once it's goyrer the tchina, that tchina can be goyrer the second tchina. It can be goyrer the second tchina with it, and therefore it's all part of the same korban. Even though the tchina in itself was only incorporated through the goyrer and greira, nevertheless, even though it itself only was incorporated in the korban through greira, but it itself can be goyrer the second tchina. So therefore, it's all included in the one korban. So that's where Abaya and Rava argue whether the second tchina can be incorporated. Abaya says it can through a greira that's goyrer in another greira, and Rava says no. The ksira is goyrer the ksira and its corresponding tchina, but that's where it stopped. The tchina, which in itself only became part of this korban through greira, cannot be goyrer the second tchina, but Abaya says it can.